Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of, I guess like a story video. I'm going to be talking about my acne story, and I've been wanting to film this video for a little bit now, but I thought I would just do it today because I don't really have that many classes today and I have the time, so I thought why not. So, I don't really have any notes or anything. I probably should have taken notes or something, like some points that I should kind of talk about, but I didn't do that, so we're just gonna wing it. And I have pictures that I'm going to display on the screen throughout the video, because I'm sure you guys want to see how my acne has changed. This is what my skin looks like now, and so like I'll get a little up close so you guys can kind of see how my skin looks. And I have like I don't know if it's gonna pick up on it. Zoom in a little bit, but so you can see it's a wee bit bumpy in this area, and I have some scarring. I don't have the most perfect skin. I'm also wearing like makeup right now, so but I have little bumps. The beginning of my story, I guess, starts, generically, like in middle school, you start getting acne. I got it I want to say I got it pretty early on. I got it in middle school. Some people get it in like high school, or I don't know. Everyone's story is different. But I remember like not a lot of my friends had acne, and I was just like, okay, like whatever. And, everyone always told me, my older siblings and my parents were like, don't worry, you get it, and then it goes away, like that's just puberty. And I'm like, all right, like that doesn't sound too bad, so I'll just like wait it out. So I waited it out for a really long time, and I want to say, so I got acne when I was like 12-ish, and I still had it when I was like 18. And it was really bad, and it was really frustrating because it had been 6 years, and everyone was like, don't worry, it goes away when you're older, when you turn into an adult, when your puberty stops and your hormones are regulated, it'll stop. And I'm like, cool. So I waited and nothing happened. And I was just tired of it. I had acne all over my face, and I'll start inserting pictures here. I had acne all over my face, and it wasn't like terrible. And it does get worse as the story progresses, but I wasn't happy with it. I also, my computer starts up all the time. It's so annoying. You see that? I didn't even touch it and it just turned on. Anyway, I hope you guys don't mind the noise in the background. I was just really not happy with my skin. All my friends didn't have to wear makeup. Like, they have beautiful skin. They may get like one or two imperfections, but that's just normal, So I was just really frustrated with it. And I remember like looking at myself crying and being like, why do I still have acne? And I had tried a bunch of topical treatments. I've also tried, I forgot the name of it, but it's doxycycline. I tried doxycycline, and that made me sick, and then I was scared to use it again, so I didn't use it again. And I used a bunch of topical treatments, like I used from drugstore to prescription. Nothing really seemed to work. It would dry out my skin like hell, and it would really be itchy, but nothing would change. And so it was very frustrating. I went on birth control for my acne. I went from my pediatrician to a dermatologist, and I went to multiple dermatologists, and all of them said, go on Accutane. And I was like, I don't want to. I was terrified to go on Accutane because the packet that they give you and like all of the things that can happen to you is just kind of crazy and really uncomfortable for me. And I don't even like taking Dayquil when I'm sick. I don't like taking medications at all, really. And so I was really, really scared of it. But one day, I think I was like 19 at the time, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm going to go on Accutane. If I push it off anymore, it's just going to take a longer process. I need to do it because you do your blood work. And then a month later, you can start it. So it's very frustrating. So you have to do your blood work, wait a month, do your blood work again, just so they can see like how your body regulates. And then they start you with Accutane. So I started it. And so I'll put the picture here about how I looked around like when I started my Accutane. Which you guys have already seen at this point, but just so you guys can kind of see it again. And then I'll start posting pictures as my acne story progresses. So let me move to the side a little. So here are some pictures. So by the first week, I started noticing a difference, that my skin was kind of getting a little worse, and I was kind of scared. I knew it was going to happen, and I knew that my acne was going to like explode, because that's what happens when you are on Accutane. Your skin pretty much explodes. And my doctor had purposely put me on a low prescription because she knew that I would she knew just on the look of my acne. I had acne all throughout my neck. I had back knee. I never took pictures of my back though, just because it was kind of hard to do that. Like I was just focused on my face at the point. I didn't really care. The clearing of my back was just like an additional thing that I knew that would happen. I still do have some back knee, and it's mostly scarring, but I'm okay with it. I really don't care. I'll show my skin. I'll show my back but I usually don't wear like backless tops anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, she started me on a low prescription because she knew my skin was just going to explode. She could tell based on like how bad my skin was and how many years I've had acne. So I started to explode a little bit. I was very self-conscious. My skin was very, very bad. Like, just like really, really bad. And I remember just hating it. She told me not to pop pimples, but there were pimples, like you can see in these pictures. My acne was so bad. How are you going to tell me not to pop those pimples? They were huge and they hurt so much. I remember there was a point where my acne was so painful that if I went like this to my skin, like just barely touched it. If I forgot that there was a pimple there and I scraped it, or, a lot of times they were really itchy because they were irritated, I would start crying because it hurt so much. It was so sensitive. It was like each pimple was infected, and I had cystic acne. So it was just a lot to deal with. My neck was super, super bad. I remember it pretty much like went down this side of my face. I never really had bad acne on my forehead. When I was younger, I had a bunch of bumps, like regularly, like puberty pimples. I was gonna say pubic pimples. Puberty pimples, just like on this part of my forehead, which is normal. But so my acne started coming like down here into this section of my face, and that's when my doctor had told me usually hormonal acne happens in this lower portioned area, and then just regular acne happens in like the T-zone area, which I still get like a little bit of pimples here and there, but it's nothing like crazy like I used to have it. So eventually it took me 10 months on Accutane. Usually it takes 6, but my doctor was like, it was 6 months and my skin was still pretty bad. And this picture is at 6 months. So my doctor was like, we should probably keep going because I have a feeling that if we stop now, it's going to just come back. So I was like, whatever. I hated doing blood work. I am terrified of needles, and I have like a bunch of tattoos, but I'm still terrified of needles. Like, going into my body is completely different. To me, it's like I can feel the blood leaving, and it just, I feel sick just thinking about it. But anyway, eventually we get to the 10-month mark of my acne, and finally it's clean, it's clear. I'm so grateful. That is what my skin looked like, and I'll post the most recent picture I have of my skin, but you guys can kind of see what my skin looks like. It's really nice now. I'm so grateful to my mom for letting me do Accutane, because it was very expensive and it took a big toll on her and her bank account, but I have never been happier with my skin. And, you know, I did anticipate my skin being like 100% flawless, beautiful, but I still have redness. I have a little bit of scarring. My friends are like, you're stupid, like you have no scarring. But I can see it like in myself. You know, you're very like conscious of what you look like. Okay, so now that the pictures are done, you can see, wow, like my skin was terrible and now it's better. I'll talk about like kind of the side effects that I had. You know, the doctor talks about like if you have anxiety or depression, like you should watch out. And my doctor had said only one time out of the hundreds of patients that she's had, she had to stop someone from like taking Accutane because they were like very severely depressed from it, which is just crazy. I was like, oh my God, like I'm terrified because I haven't been diagnosed, so I don't want to say, oh, I have depression, oh, I have anxiety, but I definitely have those tendencies. I don't want to go to a doctor, and I don't want them to tell me that I do because I don't want to be labeled as that. I want to be above that. I want to, hopefully I can like rise above the things that are weighing me down, like my depression and anxiety. So I don't like to say that I have it, but you know what I mean. And so I was terrified of that. And so she was like, do you suffer from any of these? And I was like, well, you know, like a regular teenager does. I feel like I do, just slightly. It's nothing to be concerned about. So we started, obviously. And it didn't get bad, actually. And my cousin said this funny thing. She was like, how can you be depressed on Accutane when your skin looks so good? And so, because they saw my progression, they saw my skin get really bad and then really, really good. And she was like, how can you be depressed? And I was like, yeah, exactly. So luckily for me, I didn't experience any depression, like anxiety that was really bad. I didn't experience anything. I wish I experienced the weight loss, but I didn't. It was all dandy. It was all good. So, would I recommend Accutane? 100%. Just make sure you're aware of everything that can happen. You're aware of, you know, what you can't do with Accutane, like have a kid. You can't do that. You can't do blood work. You know, it's like a lot. It's a lot on your body. You have to take birth control, so you have to make sure your parents allow that if you are under 18. But it was a painful process, as you guys saw from my photos. It was very painful, but I would do it 100%. I would do it all over again, and if I had to, and I would have done it sooner. So don't push it off. Just do it, because I pushed it off for like 4 years. I could have done it 4 years earlier, and I didn't, and I should have. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this it was ramble and kind of like a story time, but I just wanted to share my experience with Accutane and my acne story, and I hope that I inspire some of you to just go and do what is right for your skin. It's very scary, I know, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do when your acne is really bad. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I haven't posted on this channel in a very, very long time. Honestly, I forgot I had this channel, and well, I'm back. So make sure you subscribe, comment, like, whatever, and I will see you guys in my next one. Peace.